So another day, more transfer portal news we've got to dive into, and today we take a stop in Austin, Texas, where the Texas Longhorns get a big win for ex-Arizona defensive tackle Bill Norton, and we've got to break down why this is big and why Texas fans should be excited. But before we can, as always, y'all know the drill, I have got to hear from you. Hop down to the comments, give me a Y for yes, N for no. Are you excited that Texas picks up this defensive tackle addition? And let me know what you're thinking. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Hit that bell notification as I do constant college football content. You don't want to miss any of it. And if you enjoyed the content, be sure to like and comment down below. But having said all that, let's jump right into this. And as I alluded to in the intro, the Texas Longhorns now get a big-time addition via the transfer portal and ex-Arizona defensive tackle Bill Norton. Bill Norton stands 6'8", 325 pounds, and is an experienced defensive tackle. And if you're a Texas fan, that's a big addition. One thing we know about Texas, and one thing Steve Sarkisian has been forthright in, is saying he wants more defensive tackle depth. And it makes complete sense. You're coming off of a season where your interior presence was ferocious and gave so many teams real big problems. You want to be able to replicate that, especially in your first season in the SEC, especially when I think if I polled Texas fans around the nation, they're much more confident in their ability to rush the passer via the edge this season, with five-star phenom Colin Simmons already looking the part. Can't wait to see what he does during his freshman season and through his college career. So it makes complete sense that after the spring game, Steve Sarkisian acknowledges, hey, we want more depth on the interior. We've got some guys we really like, but it's all about depth. It's all about keeping fresh legs, keeping everybody healthy, and being able to throw wave after wave at the opposing offensive line. We want to be able to wear them down. Insert Bill Norton. This is a guy that is an experienced college football player, and in fact, in the year of 2023, he had 31 total tackles, 15 solo, and 2 forced fumbles. And that wasn't his first year playing college football. Like I said, this is an experienced presence. And one thing I talk about all the time whenever I talk about the transfer portal and getting in a guy with experience and why that in and of itself is so big is because if you think back to when you were in college, or if you were in college, a lot of the times your tutors, they're not professors, they're your peers. And the reason is simple, because it's easier to digest information from a peer than it is a principal-agent relationship. And that's one of the things I think if you're a Texas fan, you need to be excited about, that you have somebody that can help the young guys grow because he has seen a lot of college football. And as much as this is a big win, we must ask the question, are the Texas Longhorns done yet? And the reason I ask this is because another transfer portal defensive lineman is currently visiting the Longhorns, and that's former TCU defensive lineman Dominic Williams. And Dominic Williams is one of the more sought-after names in the transfer portal, certainly one of the more sought-after names on that defensive front. He was hyper-productive for the Horned Frogs. And one thing, anytime we ever talk about recruiting battles between rivals, you already know I'm there. Love to see it. I love recruiting in general. I think the transfer portal is real interesting, though I think there should be more parameters around it that make sense. But at the end of the day, if you have Texas and Oklahoma going after the same prospect, I'm all for that. I think that's super entertaining, and I think it makes for a great recruiting battle. Two heavyweight institutions going after a very gifted prospect that has proved to be able to make headways in college football and would be a massive addition for either unit. Currently visiting Texas, will the Longhorns be able to lock this one down? Now, I already know, if they do so, Texas fans everywhere will be over the moon, and deservedly so. If you're able to exit this week with both Bill Norton and Dominic Williams, well, that's just a double win, especially for a room that, like I said earlier on in this video, it has talent, but you want depth. You want to be able to throw wave after wave at opposing offensive lines and wear them down. Because one thing we know true about college football, you can have a lot of defensive line depth rotating in and out of the game. You're not going to see offensive lines continue to rotate pieces during the game. And if they are, that's probably not a good sign. Offensive line is a unit that you want to have gelled together. So if you're a defensive front, you can just keep throwing wave after wave at them, and hopefully in the fourth quarter, you've really been able to wear them down. Now you have that offensive line thinking, okay, do I need to worry about the interior? There inserts Colin Simmons into the equation. And he's not the only one. I think Texas is much more excited about the outside depth they have this season than they were last season, and I can't wait to watch it. But you already know, we're going to be on the lookout for what Dominic Williams does. If he makes a decision, we will certainly be back here to talk about it. But at the end of the day, this is a fantastic addition to Texas's defensive line depth, getting an experienced guy that can not only contribute, but can contribute to the development of those around him because he has seen so much football, and that can be an incredibly positive thing for young defensive guys, or young guys in college football in general. It's not just relegated to defense nor the defensive line. That same argument applies all over the field. So, can't wait to hear from you. Hop down to the comments, let me know what you think about this addition in Bill Norton, and then let me know, do you think Texas gets another massive win for a really gifted defensive lineman in Dominic Williams? Can't wait to hear from you. That's it. See ya.